Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. This morning I'm going to be unboxing the grow light that I'm going to be using for the prairie grasses this year. This light is, I guess you pronounce it FINEEST with the two E's there, but that is how they spell it. FINEEST Reflector Series 1000 watt LED grow light full spectrum. If you followed my videos from last winter, I started a whole bunch of prairie grasses in the greenhouse right there with a light from these same people. This is King LED, and the light damaged the plants, damaged the seedlings. Some it killed outright, some, half of them grew, and a couple of them, like Side Oats Grandma, did fine. So since then, the company has modified the light at least twice. They are continuously improving. So I'm going to check out their very newest version, and I'll be starting my seedlings with this light this winter. All right, let's see what we have. The last light, or the original light that I bought from them, the one that kind of damaged my plants, was very well made. And if I was growing something that was already started, it should have done just fine. The problem was it was full spectrum, and it had powerful infrared and ultraviolet lights included in it. They were on all the time. There was no way to turn them off. So the intense light from them damaged the seedlings. These new lights have a way around that. Okay. And this is the Reflector Series. And what it is, each one, I was wondering how they did that, because I seen the picture of it and I could not see a reflector anyway. Usually you think of a reflector as kind of a hood or something, but they have a reflector around each one of the LEDs. On the original one, it was on an aluminum plate, and each one was like attached to that plate. Okay, so these have a cooling fan right here, and let me get to the features of this. These have a remote. Here's the remote. Okay, they also come, this is the hanging hardware for hanging it and raising it, lowering it, power cord, and some awesome glasses for when you're looking at the light, to protect you from the ultraviolet rays. I don't know if you need it for infrared or not, but those are just to protect you. Okay, here is the remote, and here's the instructions for that. Power on and off. Vegetation button, which is right here, and they don't go into it very much, but this is for vegetation, for growing just vegetation, and this is, I'm guessing this is what you're going to use for seedlings. I thought it had 3 buttons like that, vegetation, but this just has vegetation and bloom. And I'm sure that the bloom is what turns on ultraviolet and infrared. Okay. Let's see if we can find if it has anything about that in here. Oh, you can group these. You can set these to group, or if you have 10 lights, a single remote will work on all of them. Okay, here's some information on infrared diodes. They tell you that if they appear to be off, they're not, because it's an invisible wavelength. Okay, here we are. Aha. Yeah, this is way better than their original one. Your light should be positioned above the plant canopy at a distance that creates your ideal coverage area. The further away from the canopy the light is positioned, the bigger the coverage area. However, this will also lessen the light's intensity. Yeah, I already know that. Initially, the light needs to be 48 inches above the canopy for a 3 to 7 day acclimation period. Well, why would it need an acclimation period if you're starting from seeds? After this, the recommended height is 30 to 36 inches above the canopy. While all plants are different, we suggest keeping the minimum distance of 24 inches between the light and canopy. Oh, and the different series, different heights for the different series. On the original instructions that I had, they only had the directions for one of them, and it was incorrect. They had the instructions for the 1000 watt, and I had a 1200 watt. So that helped to burn my little seedlings as well. Okay, here we are. Due to the tender nature of seedlings, you will want to tune your light down quite a bit for this stage of life. Honey, this is YouTube. This is serious stuff. Okay. Yeah, that's a camera right there. Don't look into it. Don't look into it. Thank you. Okay, where was I? Due to the tender nature of seedlings, you will want to tune down your light quite a bit for this stage of life. Once a seed has broken the surface, we recommend a break-in period of about a week where the light will be hanging at a height of 48 inches. So in reality, it'll have to stay at 48 inches until everything's up for a little bit. And then it says, once the seedling has been above the ground for about a week, the first set of true leaves should be present. Cotyledon, I think. I can never pronounce that, but the real leaves, not the seed leaves. At this point, the intensity of the spectrum can be marginally increased. We suggest the light hanging height of 36, so just slowly reduce it as the plants get a little bit older. Okay, that makes sense and is a lot better instructions than their original one. Clones, okay, vegetative state. In this stage, deeper red spectrums are utilized less by the plant than when it is flower, blah, blah, blah. And that's where, all of these buttons come in. You'll get a set of these instructions too, so you don't need to have me read the whole thing, but the instructions are far better than the original one that I got, as is the way the light is set up. Okay, this also has a timer, and I ended up buying timers for the last one, and it had a timer as well, but it didn't have a remote. I forget how it worked. But I'm going to be using the timer on the light, and it has, just the standard, 16 on, 8 off, 14, 10, and 12, 12. And then it's got a button for grouping lights together, blah, blah, blah. Vegetative, bloom, and all are the different light settings. So it does have 3. I don't know what I was thinking. And just your on and off. So that is very cool. I'm not sure how many lights this has. These are 10 watt, I believe. That was one of their selling points. A lot of the LED diodes out there, I believe, are 5 watt or less. and these are 10. I'm pretty sure that's the way it was on, that was one of their selling points on the original one I bought. So I'm pretty impressed so far. I think it's going to do a dramatically better job than it did last year. Last year was somewhat of a disaster, and I think it's going to do a good job this year. So I'm going to go do a review on Amazon, and I'll link to this, or I'll put this video on it. And I guess it is like 4 stars for just for the quality and all the improvements. This is going to help the 3 different stages. I don't need all 3 stages myself because I'm going to do seedlings and then vegetative. So it's nice that you can turn off the stage for flowering if you don't need it. So 4 stars until I try it out, but if it does a good job getting my seedlings up and going and then growing until I can get them in the ground, I'll probably up it to 5 stars. But so far, pretty impressed. Okay, that'll wrap up this unboxing. I'm going to be growing or starting the seedlings over in the shed in room 13 instead of the greenhouse. I'll be able to control the temperature a lot better that way. And it'll be a lot easier to get in there and work with the stuff. Then as soon as it's warm enough, I'll be popping them in the greenhouse. So if you want to see all that stuff, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section below. I generally answer them all. And if you can give this video a share and or a like, it helps the channel greatly and I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching and have a great day.